let us receive the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! That means God is the greatest. All praise is due to Allah.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we give Him praise and thanks for His guidance and His blessings through His prophets and messengers. As Muslims, we honor all of God's prophets. We make no distinction between them. We are taught that all of them come from the same eternal source, and at the root of all of the teachings of the prophets, it is the same. Whence comes confusion? Since God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, how come the religious community of the world is so divided and so filled with anger, hatred, and bitterness toward each other, when if all of the prophets that ever came to the people could come back, you would see one community of prophets of God that love each other, and you would feel the pain of the prophets, seeing how those who use their names hate each other and seek to kill each other over aspects of religion that they don't understand. I am so grateful to God for Moses and the Israelite prophets who gave us the Torah, or the Old Testament. I'm grateful to Allah for Esau, or Jesus, and his apostles who gave us the Injil, or the Gospel, or the New Testament. And of course, we are exceedingly pleased that He sent into the world Muhammad ibn Abdullah and revealed to him and through him the final revelation to the world of man and mankind, the Holy Quran. Peace be upon these worthy servants of Allah. I am before you not as a student of Moses or Jesus or of the Prophet Muhammad, independent of a man who came. I loved Moses and I loved Jesus. I didn't know much of Muhammad, peace be upon him, as a child. But I'm here first and foremost to represent the coming of God. And to remind us of His great love for us and His great mercy toward us, that He would not send a prophet, but would come Himself. And because He came, we are here. And because He came and saw one among us worthy to meet with Him, to be taught by Him, to be raised by Him, and missioned by Him to a great people who once were a people, but are considered by the prophets dead, dry bones in a valley. We once were a great people, but we are now all but completely destroyed. But a merciful God loved us, even though we did not have the sense to love ourselves. A merciful God thought enough of us, in spite of our foolishness, in spite of our ignorance, in spite of our being made other than ourselves by our open enemy. In spite of all of that, he chose us to be his own people, and that he would be our God and our defender, our protector. He chose us. Not because we were better than others. He didn't choose us to arrogate to ourselves that we are the choice and nobody else is. Whenever God chooses you, he has a purpose for your life. You can run from it only so long, but he will whip you into submission, as he did the prophet Jonah. Your heart, I'm talking to black people now, has been fashioned through our suffering. Your soul, though ruined, it is prophesied that he would restore your soul. And because of undeserved suffering, he was going to use your heart to bring the whole of humanity back to himself. This is why I took the subject of the children of Israel for so many weeks, because we never did understand the children of Israel. Israel here represents the entire race of Caucasian people who were new on our planet and have been the conquerors of space, of the depth of the sea, of the earth. And you don't have to ask, have they conquered us? They have conquered us so thoroughly that they made us into themselves. And we as a people are their children. And they treat us like that. And we act toward them like that. Do you have a job for me? I lost my job. Can I please have some welfare? Can you send me to school? See, we are like children asking a parent for things and want the parent to respect us as an equal when we come before them as children. But it was the children of Israel that God chose to visit. It was the children of Israel that because of their suffering and their sojourn in Egypt for 400 years, that he decided to visit them and give them Moses and lead them out of a land of bondage, and he offered them land of their own, only as a sign of you. You have no land that you can call your own, and even though we've tried to call this one ours, they quickly remind us, don't get it twisted. Just because we helped you to elect a black man to sit in the White House and we regret it totally, we just want to remind you that you are ours. A bad foster parent, too. You know, a parent that gives us the worst food to eat because we are not feeding ourselves. Well, give them the slop. Put a McDonald's, 10 of them, in a one-block area. Sure, that's a gross exaggeration. But the point is, you're living off of garbage. Your health is the worst of the American people, and you are in less than a third world condition. But the Quran says that God is going to make a messenger for you. And that messenger would be the Messiah. And he was going to teach that messenger, because everything had already been revealed through the prophets, but he was going to explain the meaning of the books. Teach him the science of life. My God. And raise him, and through him raise us to the pinnacle of civilization. That's a great, wouldn't you say that's great news? Good news? But it's not only good news for black people. No. Because you're not to hold the news. You got to be a news teller. God doesn't raise you for yourself. He raises you for human beings who are suffering. So to make us wise is not to make us like our former slave masters, that we would mistreat the people. But to make us wise is that we will share wisdom with those who are deprived and be the cornerstone of a new government, the cornerstone of a new world, the world that all the prophets said would come about at the end of this world's time. Well, I thank Allah that we are at the end of this world's time. I thank him that he has come to set justice in the earth. And I thank him for this extraordinary human being that he chose to be a messenger Messiah to us.
Yes, sir.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I greet you with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.